35 millimeter portrait today. I'm going to try to shoot this whole session with the 35 Summicron only. Now, when I shoot portraits and I shoot headshots, I shoot with a 50. When I'm in my younger days, I used to shoot with a 70 to 200 every day of the week. I love the 105, I love 135, I love the 85. I don't do that anymore because I don't like the compression as much as I did when I was younger. For me, the perfect portrait's with a 50, but I want to see how I do with a 35 through a whole shoot and see if I'm satisfied with the images, both, full length, 3/4 and close-up images with a 35 millimeter lens. Am I going to enjoy or like the images, and can I shoot with it? We get honed into this focal length when we're shooting this, that, or the other thing, and we're like, this is all I can shoot. And for me, I want to expand that. I want to expand my horizons, shoot with a 35, and see if it's going to do what I want it to do for my type of shooting. So let's get into the shoot using just the one GVM light and two in the backdrop to whiten the backdrop. It should be a fun shoot, easy setup. The lighting setup is great. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them below. Thanks for watching as always, and let's do a 35 millimeter portrait session.
Now this is Joy. We've been shooting together for so long I can't even tell you. I think the very first time we shoot was on Thanksgiving Day many years ago because we were both bored and had nothing to do. And, we just hooked up through social media or something and said, hey, let's go shoot today because we're both bored. But anyway, Joy has an issue with her round face. She just thinks her face is too round. Me, I think her face is perfect. I love the look on her. But, she's the client. And believe me, if she has any issues with any images I ever do, she has no hesitation whatsoever of setting me straight and telling me I don't like this because. And that's the positive thing with her is she doesn't just say I don't like an image. She specifically says I don't like the image because of. So having that light on the side versus in the center, versus, flat lighting versus just that little side lighting helps. Even that slightest bit of shadow on the one side of the face gives the appearance of a thinner face, which she likes. So that was the first thing. Now, other people would say, go to a long lens, you need compression for her. And compression flattens, it flattens the face. It doesn't give it depth. Like a 50 millimeter for me gives the face depth. But surprisingly, this 35, as you can see there, is giving me that same look. It's not widening. It's not distorting. It is, the images are fantastic. And I'm honed into, okay, I'm going to grab a 50 every time I hear portrait. So this kind of shoot for me, using the 35 millimeter lens, it is kind of a struggle because you're just mentally set into what you normally use. Like everybody thinks portrait lens, they think 85 or 105 or 135 or the 70 to 200. And I believe me, I've used those. When I was growing up in photography, it was a blurry background, compression, the same typical, what everybody else does. And that 28 millimeter portrait shoot that I did, that video, like it got a lot of views because a lot of people were interested in, can I do this? And yeah, because, if you have a fixed lens, like on the Leica Q2, you don't really much have a choice. Now remember, even with a crop factor, you're still shooting at the same aspect ratio of a 28, but it's just zoomed in on it. Now the 35 for me, it was a joy to use. It was, no pun intended with joy, but it was fun to use, and I'm getting the images that I love. I mean, I think these images are fantastic. I love the way her, the structure of her face looks. I love the angles and the depth you can see in her face with this 35. So I did really enjoy this. Now I shoot 35 all the time for the corporate use for like clothing shoots and so forth. When I'm doing full length and I need that full length quality image, I grab the Voigtlander Apo 35 every day of the week. If it's a 3/4 or half length, I'm grabbing the Voigtlander 50 Apo. They're just my two favorite lenses for when you need perfect images, and if you've never tried them before, rent one because you'll understand. Now, those lenses, by the way, on a um, adapted to another camera. Some of them work well, some don't work at all. Like the Voigtlander adapted to a Sony, not so great. You lose image quality. But straight M lenses on a lot of cameras and on obviously the M cameras, they're just fantastic. Anyway, I'll get back to this. So 35, I'm after this shoot, I'm more apt to use it for portraits. Actually, I think I may use it just as much as the 50 because I'm enjoying this shoot so much and I'm enjoying the look so much. I am very pleased with the look. I wasn't worried about distortion or anything like that. I didn't go that close where I could say, okay, her face is going to look just a little weird because I'm too close. And I think someone came at me at the 28 millimeter. They're like, I can never use a 28 millimeter for a wedding because you're in people's personal spaces and so forth. I'm like, well, I didn't suggest using the 28 for a wedding. I just suggested using it for a portrait shoot for something different. Everybody has an opinion. Anyway, I'm hoping you enjoyed this. And if there's a lot of 35 portrait shooters out there, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying this is something new or anything like that. I'm just saying I really enjoyed shooting with it myself. I got rid of my tunnel vision personally and said, okay, well, I can shoot 35 with these portraits, go in close, do 3/4. I did full length. I just didn't show any here. I apologize. But for me, this was a milestone, shoot where I forced myself. I usually start with a 35 and then I'm like, oh, I have to get my 50 because I'm shooting portraits. But the images here I thought were fantastic. It worked really well. By the way, the GVM lighting setup, it was so simple. I do love this system. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below. And, randomly 35 millimeter portraits, the ones who know. And now I do too. Thanks for watching.